Hello everybody, welcome back to the workshop. Today I'm going to be showing you how to build this advanced cardboard night helmet with removable feathers. Enjoy. So the first thing I did is I took this piece of cardboard, which is roughly 18 inches long, and I bent it against the corrugation, and then I turned it into this. All I did was I cut small strips and turned them into bands that go around the skull here. And then one is higher right at my eyebrow line to indicate the front of the helmet. And this one is the back. Here's one final more look. And I'm going to cover this in newspaper strips soaked in a flour and water mixture. Roughly 2 cups of flour per 1 cup of water. To help speed up the dry time, I just elevate it slightly over my vent, and then hot air slowly comes up and just helps it dry a little bit quicker, and it's pretty safe. And now we have a dry shell, and from this point you can pretty much build any kind of helmet. The design I chose is the one you saw in the thumbnail. So the first thing we're going to do is get a new piece of cardboard and glue it to the back. So I did just that, and I also cut off the curves right here, and that is just to mark where I'm going to put some more strips of cardboard. So I trimmed it back a little bit more, and now we're going to get this piece of cardboard, which I bent in half, and I cut a slant right there. And what this is going to do is it's going to create that contoured chin shape. So I'm going to glue it to that side first, and then the other side. So as you can see right here, this is the foundation of a helmet, and like I said, it can basically be any night helmet so long as you're willing to design any kind of visor you want. So here's what the inside looks like, and I made this helmet a little bit larger in volume so I could put some pieces of EVA foam so I could have more protection, more structure, and more comfortability at the same time. So I enlarged it past my original helmet, my custom designed Armit helm. And as you can see, it's very cool design, and the Armit is an actual night helmet, but when you lift it up, the cheekbones don't go all the way down to a chin, which I should have done, and I still can do. It's just I'd rather keep experimenting with new helmets. Speaking of visors, we have a myriad of visors to choose from, like the Hoon Skull Bassinet, the standard Armit visor, the Sallet, and of course we have this blue one right here, which is completely still. There are plenty of cool visors that I all want to do at once, but for this bassinet, I'm probably going to lean towards a more pointier nose. So to start, we have these 2 pieces right here. I'm going to glue them together right there at the angle. So that's glued together in place. And now I took the scrap piece that I cut those shapes of cardboard out of, and I traced where that pencil mark is, the new design. And the reason I kept these pieces so I have the same contour, I don't have to recreate it, and all I have to do is just cut off the excess, and I'll have an additional piece. So mounting the visor involves adding 2 extra pieces of cardboard on each side here to make the visor thicker at the hinges, and I'm going to use some of those golden T fasteners and fasten it right there at the helmet. That's also why we doubled up the cardboard thickness on the inside of the helmet as well. Alright, so I had to make some adjustments here. I had to notch out the corners there so it would be able to flip up and everything. I also smeared some contact cement over the paper mache so it hardens up a little bit better. Make sure your workspace is ventilated. And I'm waiting for that to dry, and then I will use extra large T-pins, and I get the long ones the fasteners here so they can fit through multiple layers of cardboard, and then those will be my hinges to lift up the visor. This is my first prototype of the visor, and I'm pretty happy with it, so I think this is what we're going to use. The length of the head part is a little bit longer than I'd like. No big deal. All I have to do is just surgically remove the back of the head and move it closer a little bit. So I just took it back 3/4 of an inch, and then I'm just going to glue that right back there. So now that that is edited, we're now going to work on the visor a little bit more. I added some more cardboard there to spread out the top piece a little bit more because it kept rubbing up against the dome of the skull. But now that we've figured it out and I'm temporarily holding it in place with screwdrivers, we're going to put a piece of steel across the eyebrow here, similar to my old night helmet, but it will flip up with the visor. So here we have a thin piece of cardboard that I cut a bunch of slits in, and what I'm going to do is glue it across the brow, and then before I do that, I'm going to bend all these and then glue them together, all the slits I cut. Here's the brow visor right here, and before I glue that on, I just want to let you know I'm using the golden T fasteners and replacing the temporary screwdrivers, and now we have a rivet holding it in as a hinge. So here it is. It is fastened on the helmet. Now I had to spread apart these slits over here just so it could open up the visor. But that was just a small adjustment along with, you know, shrinking the head size. But this is my honest build tutorial, so I'm going to show you all the things I have to edit in order to make a basic helmet. Now, notice how the eye slit is pretty thin, and this is a historical fact about knight armor. It is pretty thin, but whenever you put your face or your eyes really close to that slit, it's kind of hard to see because I have my flashlight on, but you can actually see more clearly when your face is closer to that slit. Let me focus up. Yeah, see, that would be your vision, and your protection level is pretty high. Okay, so I added some spackle along the seam lines, and I don't normally do this, but this is the first time I have tried this craft technique to make it look more finished. When you paint it, it will all look like one piece, or at least it helps. After that, I also poked some holes with a small screwdriver, so when this dries, I'm going to go back with a bigger screwdriver and re-poke all those holes for extra detail. Now that that's done, what I'm going to do is add a little stopper like the one on my old helmet, and that's just so it doesn't keep going down, keep sliding down the helmet, so it has somewhere to stop. And then we're going to add some fabric on the inside. So I have one along the chin there, and then for extra measure I have another one on the cheek. And you only need one because it serves the purpose of both sides and it holds the weight, but it's looking pretty clean. And now I'm probably just going to spackle it along the cracks as well. And now the whole thing is lined with that felt fabric to make everything a lot more comfortable, and the foam is in the right place as well. So I trimmed the cardboard right here just a little bit as a small adjustment, and when I test fit it, it's very comfortable. In fact, it's by far the most comfortable helmet I've ever made, and it's very sturdy too. So the last thing we're going to do is add a water bottle cap here and save the rest of the water bottle. I'm making sure to add some popsicle sticks so I could connect the helmet with a rubber band just to keep the visor down in battle. We have the bottle cap and a little bit of the bottle of a Coke bottle, and I use this type of special a torch lighter to shrink it down a little bit. And then I got some feathers from the craft store. This is just a random bunch right here. They're black and white. And I'm gonna tape them up, glue them inside the bottle part, and I'll be able to unscrew and screw on the feathers as an option. And I painted it metallic silver. So here's me wearing the helmet, and as you can see, its flexibility is good and its comfortability is even better. And I'm very happy with the results compared to my old go-to helmet. That's going to conclude this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like these builds that I do, like and subscribe for more videos.